In the early years of the Ottoman frontier state, military expansion was essential for survival. Surrounded by rival powers and fortified Byzantine strongholds, Osman Ghazi and his son Orhan faced the challenge of securing territory while building a stable political foundation. Their early campaigns focused on capturing key forts such as Karakahisar, Bilecik, and İnegöl. Through a combination of careful planning, surprise attacks, and prolonged sieges, these conquests marked the beginning of sustained Ottoman expansion in northwestern Anatolia. The frontier region where Osman ruled was a landscape of fortified towns and defensive positions. Byzantine authorities relied on these forts to maintain control over trade routes and agricultural lands. For Osman and his followers, capturing such positions was both a strategic necessity and an opportunity to strengthen their emerging state. Each fortress represented not only military value, but also economic resources and political influence. One of the earliest significant targets was Karakahisar. Situated near important routes connecting frontier settlements, the fortress served as a regional center of administration. Osman recognized that controlling Karakahisar would provide a base for further operations. His forces employed a mixture of direct assault and tactical pressure. Rather than rushing into reckless attacks, they weakened the defenders through sustained encirclement, cutting off supplies and reinforcements. After persistent efforts, the fortress fell, becoming one of the first major urban centers under Ottoman control. The capture of Karakahisar had symbolic and practical consequences. It demonstrated that Osman's forces could overcome established Byzantine defenses. Following the conquest, administrative measures were introduced to integrate the town into the new state. Markets resumed operation under Ottoman protection, and local populations were encouraged to continue daily life. This pattern of conquest, followed by stabilization, became a hallmark of early Ottoman strategy. Bilecik presented a different challenge. Known for its defensive strength and strategic location, it required a more subtle approach. Historical traditions describe the use of deception and surprise in securing the fortress. Osman's forces exploited moments of vulnerability, coordinating their movements to catch defenders off guard. The successful capture of Bilecik highlighted the importance of intelligence and adaptability in frontier warfare. These operations were not isolated acts of aggression, but part of a broader campaign to establish secure borders. By controlling Bilecik, the Ottomans gained influence over surrounding territories and trade networks. The fortress became a staging ground for future expeditions and a symbol of expanding authority. Its fall further enhanced Osman's reputation among both allies and rivals. İnegöl stood as another crucial objective. The fortress guarded access to fertile lands and key communication routes. Campaigns against İnegöl involved extended engagements and required cooperation between Osman and his son Orhan. The younger commander played an increasingly active role, demonstrating leadership that would later shape the state's direction. The struggle for İnegöl combined open confrontation with patient siege tactics. Ottoman forces constructed defensive lines to isolate the fortress, preventing external support. Over time, sustained pressure eroded the defenders' capacity to resist. When the fortress was finally secured, it marked a significant expansion of Ottoman territory and influence. Throughout these campaigns, Osman and Orhan emphasized coordination and discipline. Their armies consisted of diverse groups united by shared goals. Effective communication and clear command structures allowed them to adapt to changing battlefield conditions. This organizational strength proved decisive in overcoming fortified positions. The early fortress conquests also revealed a pragmatic approach to governance. After each victory, efforts were made to maintain order and encourage economic activity. Local inhabitants were often allowed to retain property and customs under new administration. Such policies reduced resistance and facilitated integration into the expanding state. Military success brought increased prestige and attracted new followers. Warriors from neighboring regions joined Ottoman ranks, drawn by the prospect of opportunity and the reputation of capable leadership. This influx of manpower reinforced the state's capacity for further expansion. At the same time, the consolidation of captured territories ensured that growth remained sustainable. the collaboration between Osman and Orhan represented a generational partnership that strengthened the young state. While Osman provided overarching vision and authority, Orhan contributed energy and tactical innovation. Their joint leadership created continuity and prepared the foundation for future development. Historians view these early conquests as formative experiences that shaped Ottoman military culture. Emphasis on strategy, patience, and adaptability became enduring characteristics. Siege warfare required logistical planning and resource management, skills that would later support larger campaigns. Beyond immediate territorial gains, the capture of Karakahisar, Bilecik, and Inegöl altered regional dynamics. Byzantine control in the frontier weakened as Ottoman influence expanded. Trade routes shifted toward new centers of power, and diplomatic relationships adjusted accordingly. The emerging state established itself as a significant force in Anatolia. These achievements were not achieved without difficulty. Frontier warfare demanded resilience in the face of hardship. Soldiers endured long campaigns, uncertain supplies, and constant risk. Leadership that shared these burdens fostered loyalty and determination. Osman and Orhan's presence among their troops reinforced unity and morale. In retrospect, the early fortress conquests represented more than a series of military victories. They marked the transition from a small frontier principality to a structured and expanding state. Each captured stronghold contributed to a network of defenses and resources that supported long-term stability. As the Ottoman state continued to grow, the lessons learned during these campaigns informed future strategy. Integration of conquered territories, balanced governance, and effective military organization remained central principles. The partnership between father and son ensured continuity of purpose and prepared the way for the next phase of expansion. The story of these early conquests illustrates how calculated action and disciplined leadership can transform regional power structures. By targeting strategic fortresses and combining tactical innovation with administrative foresight, Osman and Orhan established a durable foundation. Their efforts reshaped the frontier landscape and set the stage for the rise of a new political power. In the years that followed, the expanding state built upon the momentum generated by these victories. Fortified towns became centers of administration and commerce, linking military success with economic development. The early campaigns against Karakahisar, Bilecik, and Inegöl thus stand as pivotal moments in the formation of a state that would continue to influence history for centuries.